This is a reading selection about Martin Luther King. You can see your text feature here. There's the Washington Monument. This is where he did his very, very famous speech, I Have a Dream, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. And we actually got to go there and stand where Martin Luther King Jr. stood. It's pretty amazing, and to sit and think about why he chose that spot, because he really admired Abraham Lincoln and everything that he did for him and his people. So this says at the top, how can a peaceful idea be a powerful weapon? Now, boys and girls, I want you to notice that you can pause my recording. So when we get to the questions, you can pause things and look back. Mahatma Gandhi was a famous leader from India. He believed in a nonviolent or peaceful way of protesting evil. In 1950, a young student was deeply impressed by these teachings. Later, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. became a leader of nonviolent Black protest in the United States. Martin Luther King Jr. was born Michael Lewis King in 1929. While a boy, he changed his name to that of the brave religious leader. Young Martin admired his father's courage in meeting the problems of racial discrimination. Reverend King Sr. did not allow his family to ride the segregated buses of Georgia. Segregated means they had separate places that they had to sit on the buses, and his dad wouldn't let them ride on the buses because they were not fair. When Martin was 15, he finished high school. 15, that's young. In 1948, he graduated from Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. Then he went to the Crozer Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania. A seminary is a religious school where you can learn about being a preacher or a reverend, where he was one of 6 Black members in a class of 100. An outstanding student, King served as class president and received his divinity degree in 1951. In 1955, he was awarded his PhD degree from Boston University. PhD is your doctorate degree. So he's a very smart man. Reverend King had hesitated about returning to the South when he completed his education. He knew how difficult life was for Black people in that part of the country, in the South. But his love for family and friends called him to Montgomery, Alabama. In 1954, while studying for his PhD, he became pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church there. Soon a struggle began in Montgomery between Black and white people over segregation on city buses. Under King's leadership, the Black people of Montgomery refused to ride in the back of the buses any longer. Indeed, they would not ride on the segregated buses at all. It's called a boycott. They stayed away from the buses. As a result of their action, the laws were changed. During the struggle for integration on public buses, Reverend King preached his ideas of love and non-violence. Shortly after that, Reverend King and other ministers started the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Its goal was to end racial segregation in all areas of life. As its leader, Dr. King walked picket lines, took part in sit-in demonstrations, led marches, sat in jail more than 30 times, and suffered much personal violence. Yet he held no bitterness or hate in his heart. He said many times, "Let no man drag you so low as to hate." Dr. King believed in the power of love, goodwill, and nonviolence. He had faith in democracy, which is the type of government that we have. In 1964, at age 35, he was the youngest person in the history to win the Nobel Peace Prize. During Dr. King's career, he tried to bring people together rather than separate them. He encouraged Spanish-speaking people, American Indians, and poor people in general to work together to improve conditions. He began to arrange a Poor People's March on Washington, D.C. for early 1968. He organized the march, but he did not lead it. I wonder why. I wonder what happened. In April 1968, an assassin's bullet ended the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Memphis, Tennessee. A sad nation mourned its great loss. People of goodwill, both Black and white, promised to continue his great work. Okay, so number 1, and I just want to show you all, you can use some tools in here. I think you can still use them. I'm not sure. But you can highlight. I'm hoping you can still use the tools even with my recording. We will find out. So, number 1, synonyms are words that have the same or almost the same meaning. Nonviolent is a synonym for, and you need to highlight or bold your answer. Nonviolent is a synonym for peaceful, loud, forceful, or harmful. Choose your answer. You just click and drag. You can click the B button for bold. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Choose your answer. Number 2, according to the article, the action in Montgomery, Alabama concerned schools, lunchrooms, buses, parks. So again, I'm going to go back up in here where you can find your answer. Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, and I'm going to pause it. You can pause yours so you can find your answer. Okay, so back down here, number 3. Faith means belief, power, education, action. So we're going to go back up and find that word faith. See, it is right here. Dr. King believed in the power of love, goodwill, and nonviolence. He had faith in democracy. Faith means belief, power, education, or action. Number 4, a good title for this selection would be, now, this is for the whole selection, Symbol of Peace, Changing Laws, The Poor People's March, Churchmen. So think about what would be a good title for the whole selection. What is the main idea? What is it all about? Number 5, in the 3rd paragraph, the word served means worshipped, handed food, supplied, performed duties. So again, I'm going to go back up here and find it in the context. It says here, then he went to Crozer Theological Seminary in Pennsylvania, where he was one of 6 black members in a class of 100. An outstanding student, King served as class president and received his divinity degree in 1951. So what does served mean? Worshipped, handed food, supplied, or performed duties. Number 6, a suffix is a letter or group of letters added to the end of a root word to change the meaning of the root word. The suffix ness, when added to a word, makes a new word that means being the root word. Example, bitterness. Okay, sorry if this repeats a little bit, but example, bitterness means being bitter, because the ness means being. To which one of these words can we add the suffix ness to make a word that we use? Much, 6, or great. The main idea of this article is that nonviolence is better than violence. Dr. King suffered personal difficulties. Dr. King used peaceful methods to work against evil laws. Laws are slowly changing. This is the main idea of the whole article. Number 8, label T if the statement is true, label F if the statement is false. If a statement is false, fix it in color. Highlight an in format up here. Choose strike through. For example, we had beets are animals. That is false because beets are vegetables. So they typed a red F, but you can choose your color up here for your text for false. And then the word that made it wrong was animals. So you highlight it, push format, strike through. That would mark out the word. Okay. And then type the word plants. Number 1, Martin Luther King was not a very good student. Well, we read up there that Martin Luther King was actually an outstanding student. Okay, an outstanding student. It's right there. So that one is not true. It is false. So again, you type a red F for false, highlight the word not, go to tools, format, strike through, and that makes it true. Martin Luther King was a very good student. Number 2, a struggle began in Montgomery, Alabama over segregation of city buses. Decide if it is true or false. If it's false, then you need to fix it. You can pause it if you need to. This is the paragraph about the buses. Number 3, the goal of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference was to oppose segregation and violence. You can pause it if you need to. 4, Martin Luther King Jr. changed his name to be like that of a famous athlete. Up here. 5, in King's seminary class, he was one of 6 black members in a class of 100. It's going to be in this page. 6, while trying to change the laws, Dr. King was put in jail more than 30 times. And you can see right here, and you would highlight your proof. Sat in jail more than 30 times. So that one is true. Put a red T. All right, down here, sequencing. Now you have to look back 4 dates. Number the following events in the order that they occurred. Martin Luther King Jr. arranged a Poor People's March on Washington. So you need to find the date for that, and you would type it next to it. Next one says graduated from Morehouse College. So you would look back in the text for where he graduated from Morehouse College. Next one, became pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. Okay, you can see there's Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. Here's the date, 1954. So I would highlight that. And come down here, 1954. Make it red. Next one, won the Nobel Peace Prize. You can pause it if you need to. Next one, is honored by having a holiday to recognize his achievements. That one you might just have to kind of think about. Was impressed by Mahatma Gandhi's teachings. Was assassinated. See the word in April 1968, an assassin's bullet. So I highlight that. I keep doing that the wrong way encouraged black people not to ride on Montgomery